Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a multi-perspective game. You're looking at a Progetto 65, the tier 10 Italian medium, and it's being commanded by BearFace. And also in this game is Backstabber the Great, and he's over there in the T95 FV4201 Chieftain, and I'm behind in the T92 HMC, the tier 10 American SPG. Battle's about to start. Okay, well, we're watching BearFace to start with. Now, as I say, it's a multi-perspective game, so we'll be seeing views from different angles. And we're starting with BearFace. She's loading her 4-shot auto reloader, and she's headed off down to the south. And unfortunately, she's the only one going south. There's a strip going to the usual tank destroyer spots, but yeah, I'm afraid she's all alone, and she knows it. Yeah, this is not good. A 1390's been seen near the centre line, and the EBR's clearing the trench at the moment. But the 1390's into the trench, and he's moving north while the EBR 90's headed south. So he needs to do an about face and come back. And she's just seen the opposition. There's a T55. She puts a round in, and another one. She tracked him. Go for the engine bay. Yes. Fires the last one in, and she's got a full clip. One of those tracked the target, but she realises she's in a bit of a hopeless position. She's the only one holding off 3 enemy tanks, and one of them is, well, T55A obviously is a very dangerous tank, the reward tank, and the T10, well, even though it's tier 9, is still a bit of a meaty heavy. So she doesn't really want to be facing that all on her own. And she's pulled back, and she told us at the time that she was pulling back, and we agreed. And I actually started refocusing onto that area, knowing full well she was going to get spotted, and yes, she has been spotted. Moved up to a position here to actually see what's going on. Now, obviously, I'll swap to what's going on with BearFace. Oh, beautiful shot in the AMX 1390. I think even the 704 behind her liked that shot. Absolutely perfect. Right into the side of the wheelie. Out of the game he goes. Well, not the wheelie, but the light tank. Okay, T10. He's moving up. Now, I'm focusing on this area as well, because obviously they're a bit of a concern to me, because I don't really want them coming in this area. She aims for the gap, fires the round at the moment she expects him to appear, and the T55A appears. There's the guy she hit earlier in the game. And the 704 is realising that this is a bit of a danger, so he's moved down, and she picks up some spotting assist. I think I fired a round in there, but I think also the strip was firing, and that was the enemy Arty. She's fully loaded, ready to go. Now, as you know, the T92 HMC does have a rather long reload. She's knocked a tree down. Now, admittedly, normally we wouldn't advise people to knock trees down, because that's how you target tanks you can't see. But she's doing the right thing here, because she's actually pulled back from the tree and just using it for cover. Okay, there's the 277. She's trying to put rounds in. Oh, gets a lovely round in the lower plate, and I took the kill on the 277. Unfortunately, our 704 just got hit, and she got hit by the GW. She's indicating to me on the map where the GW was. So I picked that information up, and I had a look in that area, and you'll see in a short while that I do actually hit that the Arty in that general area. Okay, Object 430 going up the trench. He might spot her if he pops up. Yes, he did for a moment. She did take a round from the Object 140. She was seen. There was a big gap there. She's still got half a hit point, so it's not too bad. It's the wreck of the 704. And you can see Backstabber is alongside her now, so... Oh, ST1. She's got the side of him. She fires 2 rounds in just to be sure. Let them reload. Okay, both Artys are focusing in this area. Yes, one of them was me. And there's the TV PT5051. That's me! Firing around in. Backstabber gets the kill. And now it's just a question of getting this T10. He's just around the corner. Now I'm reloading at the moment. We've got 30 seconds before I can shoot again. So it's going to have to be these guys. Oh, and she gets hit by 3 shots. And then the ST1 finishes her off, unfortunately. So that's the end of the game from Backstabber's point of view, from BearFace's point of view. But the ST1's being targeted by me, and I told Backstabber that I was about to hit the rear of that ST1. And let's have a look from the angle. You can see my Arty over there in the distance. And there I targeted the round to hit the back of the ST1. Knocked off a huge amount of his hit points. And yes, I'm afraid Backstabber got hit there as well. Lost his driver. Been badly damaged. He's only got 14 hit points, but the ST1 goes down to the Striv, and Backstabber is happy with that. Now I'm in reload. It's a good job that Backstabber got out of the way, because an enemy Arty shell just landed next to the Rex. So it looks like they were still targeting him, but he's only got 14 hit points now. So he's basically crippled. He's lost his driver. And he's, well, tracks damaged, viewports damaged. He's basically a one-shot for anyone who spots him. And he spotted the 430, but he did get one round in. He's going to try and side scrape on this corner. The Object 430 knows full well that he's damaged, but he takes the Object 430 out and gets killed by the Arty. Yes, the Batchat 155.55 fired a round in. And here's the battle from Backstabber's perspective. Game's just about to start, and we're following his FV4201, the Chieftain. Now, as you know, the Chieftain, well, they haven't brought this into the game in the true representation that they have on the Chinese server, but the FV4201 is, well, probably the best we're going to get. It's a legendary tank in terms of the gun and the armour, but it's also legendary for how bad the engine was. If only they'd actually produced a decent engine to go in this vehicle and not asked for the multi-fuel version, then this would have been a really good tank. In fact, it would have been a big seller. T110E4. Oh, didn't get a shot there. Loading the premium APCR. Now, the Alpha on this gun. Oh, didn't get a shot in there. But he did block the shots by pulling back. 440 Alpha on the shell. Again, he's got a teammate behind him there who was trying to push his way in. The 705, the T10s. They both want a shot at this, and I think Backstabber realised very smartly at that point that he was blocking them from taking shots, so he pulled away. You can see BearFace departing at the back in the distance. He's trying a quick shot, a snapshot. Udez is trying to use this corner as well. It's a T10. He's coming up to the church. Hasn't got there yet. Udez keeps getting in the way. And he's trying to get shots in that 1390. That's moving up through the trench. Udez trying for a shot, whilst Backstabber's trying to get a shot on that T10. And the T10's the more important of the two tanks there. And that was the moment that BearFace managed to get the kill on the 1390. Now the Skoda's also vying for a position, but you can see that what Backstabber was trying to do was try and get shots on that T10. And he's decided, yeah, it's too crowded here. The T10's decided to move in as well. And we're leaving this, well, 705 seems to be handling this corner. Side scraping. Can we get a shot in here? He's got a mouse. A mouse is in the house. Oh, he bounced around from the Jagdtiger. Now we're going to see that Jagdtiger later on in the game. But it's at this moment that cries for help were coming from a different spot. And you can see that shot from an ST1 on the enemy team came in, it hit Backstabber. And the cries for help were actually coming from BearFace because she was defending that corner all alone with an Object 704. And so she needed to get down there as quickly as possible because the Striv here seen rushing towards that bush was actually the only one who was guarding the south alongside BearFace earlier in the game. And the 277's just been seen. And they're asking for fire. I fire a round in and kill the 277. Now, what's legendary about the Chieftain really is the gun. It is absolutely fantastic. A British rifle gun. It really was the bee's knees. The last thing in terms of accuracy and hitting power. Now, originally on the Chieftain, they were just going to fit the 105mm gun. But this one is the standard 120mm. 440 Alpha, 270 penetration off standard ammo, goes up to 322 with premium. And you can see that he's got BearFace alongside. She's covering that side. And now Backstabber's going in. He's just spotted that ST1, the one who shot him earlier. Took a load of his hit points away, 455 of his hit points. And so he's moving up. Oh, took a round from object 140. Okay, BearFace is coming in behind him. He knows that the enemy has got a TVP and a T10. Okay, there's the TVP. Okay. And TVP gets hit by me. And then BearFace finishes him off. And the T10 comes right round the corner at that moment. And he side-scraped the corner. Oh, yes, lots of damage going in. Unfortunately, that's where we lost BearFace. He's trying to side-scrape on that T10. He takes him out, but this is where he got face-to-face with the ST1. Going for the right spot. He's trying to block it with his barrel. He didn't manage to get that one in. You see, the ST1 driver knows that he's got a very vulnerable cupola there. And yeah, there it goes in. That round went straight through the cupola. And he also got hit by my Arty at that point. Blocked the damage actually from me, which would have been 1300 hit points. There's the ST1 getting 486, leaving Backstabber on virtually nothing. And the ST1 goes down to the Striv, who abandoned BearFace earlier in the game. But at least he got the kill on that ST1, prevented Backstabber from being taken out at that moment. You saw an Arty round come in just behind. Now he's got the 140 up to the north, who put a shell into him. And he suspects that there's more enemy tanks coming because there's an object 430 been seen in the trench. And more than likely he's going to make a move. He's got so low on hit points. His driver's gone. He gets a 1 round snapshot into the 430. Goes for the cover quickly. Covers his lower plate. Side scrape the corner. Here we go. Yes, beautiful. And at that point the Arty chimes in. And that's the end of the game from Backstabber's perspective. And this is the battle from my perspective in the T92 HMC. Fully loaded. Okay, well, we're moving away to our firing position. You can see BearFace moving south and Backstabber's moving off towards the power plant stroke factories. I'm headed for the corner. I'm not going to go right into the north in A0. No, that would be just too obvious and the enemy would easily get me on a counter battery. No, what I'm going to do instead is sit in this position here, which is another obvious spot, but it's actually quite good as well. Now, the first target I've spotted is a TVP T5051, and we're going to see that tank later on in the game. But instead, we're going to go for this T110E4. I've marked him as target, dialing in on position, almost ready to go. Rounds out. Direct hit for 575. He's stunned, he's pulling back, and in fact actually Backstabber was shooting at him. I've marked him as target again. I've got 23 seconds to go though, but I've noticed that BearFace is down in the south all on her own, and she was actually mentioning this in chat, and so I was a bit concerned at this point. I've got an object 140 to the north. And that guy's going to come into the game later on as well. Now, he's vying for control of that forest with a 430U. I'm loaded, but I can't see the target, so I can't shoot. BearFace is pulled back to the south, and now I'm actually looking at a AMX 1390 going up the trench. Lining him up for a shot. Fires the round in just a little too late, but I splashed him for 95 hit points. And BearFace gets the kill there. A beautiful shot. And in fact, actually, the Object 704 alongside her ticked affirmatives. I think he liked that shot as well. Okay, the 140's popped up again. Now, the unfortunate thing with the T92 HMC is you don't get a huge amount of rounds to play with, I'm afraid. I've already fired 2 rounds and I've got 14 left, 2 of which are premium. I'm loaded. Rounds out in the Object 140 and a direct hit on him. Absolutely direct hit. And he's a fairly, well, less armoured vehicle, so obviously he would have felt that one tremendously. And I'm switched bound to the south because I know that BearFace is about to receive unwelcome visitors in the form of a T10, an Object 430, and possibly an Object 277. And you can see there she's just knocked down the tree to provide her with a bit of cover. In that instance, because she's knocking it down and then moving away from the tree, she's actually a lot safer. And there's the 277. Now I'm almost loaded. Dialing in on position. Rounds out. Kill shot. Thanks to the help of the teammates, he had less hit points when I fired the round in, so it was an easy kill. Okay, we're following the T10, but at that moment BearFace said she'd been hit by an Arty in this corner. So I'm having a quick look for a counter battery. There is an Arty up in this corner, we do know that. And he comes into the game later on, I'm afraid. Looking for the tracer. Nothing showing yet. I'm still loaded. There's the tracer, and I thought that that was near him. I fired the round in. Pretty much sure that he was hit by the splash, but it wasn't enough to actually get any damage. So I pulled down to the south to the ST1. That's the ST1. It's going to come into the game later on as well. We've got Backstabber now basing in his Chieftain. He's holding off the Horde, but BearFace is going in. And we know there's a TVP somewhere around that area. Now, I've marked the ground in that area. So's the other Arty, who's a GW E100. There's the T50, and I fire a round in, splash him, stun him, and they get the kill. BearFace gets the kill. And the T10 appears. Backstabber gets a round into him as well. We've targeted on these guys. Unfortunately, the enemy Arty's been firing at R2 as well, and BearFace goes down to the ST1. And the ST1, after Backstabber kills the T10, he goes into a face hug with the ST1. Now, I've marked the target, but I'm still a few seconds away from shooting, and he's getting close to the edge of that building. I may not actually be able to hit the rear of that ST1. I warn Backstabber I'm firing, and the round goes in. Does a lot of damage to the enemy. Fortunately, Backstabber blocked the shot that blocked the damage. But the ST1 did take damage, but they both got stunned. Now, Backstabber's taken a big hit, but the ST1 gets taken out of the game by the Striv. And that's a long shot from all the way over the other side. He ticks affirmative. He liked that. He got into cover quick. But he's not the only one in that area, and I know that. We believe that there's an Object 430U there, but at that point in time, the Jagdtiger became visible in the north. So I switched targets over to the Jagdtiger momentarily. Dialing in. Lined it up, rounds out, and I hit the target. I hit the Jagdtiger. The shell disappeared without an explosion, but there's Backstabber rather, and he's facing the Object 430. He got one round into the guy, took him out the game, and got hit by the Arty, and that was the end of his game. So now it's in the end game. We've got the advantage by 1 tank. But unfortunately, our team is not exactly very competent. The Arty players are okay, but unfortunately, a lot of our teammates in the tanks just don't do this right. And I'm looking for counter battery at the moment, trying to work out where that enemy Arty was. Have a quick look to the north. I can't see anything. The Jagdtiger pops up again. And I decide, well, I can do the counter battery, or I can hit something I can see. And there's the Jagdtiger. Yep, he's the Jagdtiger. Now that's a tier 9 tank destroyer. Fire 1 quick round in and quickly look for the Striv. So I didn't see if the shell hit the target, and I should have waited to see if I got a hit. But I'm worried about that Striv. Okay, moving back to the Jagdtiger. Goes back to the Striv. There's the Batchat. Okay, that's the Batchat that killed Backstabber. He killed him from that corner, so I was looking in the right spot. He just wasn't firing at that moment. Now he's decided to move because he's been spotted, and I'm lining him up for a shot. The Striv's going to hit him. If he doesn't, I will. I fired the round in, anticipating him moving forward. But now I'm unloaded and need to get around him before that Jagdtiger. And I have a quick look into the bushes again. Counter battery. I'm certain that there's an enemy Arty in that area. Striv's moving up to have a look. He's also trying to get a shot on the Jagdtiger. He goes up to the railway line. And there's the Jagdtiger. And unfortunately he gets hit by the Arty and then taken out by the enemy Striv. There's the Jagdtiger. I'm lining him up for the shot. Rounds out. Just misses him, but he gets splashed and stunned. Our T110E4's there. That was such a narrow miss. If I'd aimed just slightly to the right, I think the shell would have hit the top of his vehicle, and that would have been the end of his game. But we've still got to deal with that Striv 1030, who's right up in the northward, and that's the guy that killed our Striv. And there's the Jagdtiger. This time I've got him. He just killed the T110E4. I've lined him up. I'm almost loaded. Here we go. Rounds out. That one worked. Took out the Jagdtiger. Okay, now at this moment, Backstabber was warning me that he thinks the enemy's going to come from the north. The Striv will cross the railway lines just to the north of us, and then he'll come straight towards me, because that way he's in cover for most of the time. So it's just the Arty facing a tank destroyer and 2 Artys. Now they've got a GWE100 and the M53 M55. Now I suspect that the Arty that was actually in the north may be the M53 M55. But I've moved as close to the bushes as I dare, and I saw a tree go down there, but I think that was Arty, one of our guys. Yeah, he's marking the ground in that area. Now, Backstabber did mention at this time, was I carrying Binox or Camo Net? And no, I carry Camo Net because it gives extra camo capability. And the M53's just been spotted behind us, but he's taken out by the 212. And then the GWE100 takes out our T12A, unfortunately. So he does it from a long way away. So it's now 2 RT versus an RT and a tank destroyer. And my sixth sense goes off, so I have been seen. And he fires around and it hits the tracks of all things. So I'm trying to get out of that position into cover quick. And I take a round through the side from the Striv. So that's 2 hits I received. And there's a splash from the enemy Arty to boot, who just reloaded. I'm pulling back into cover, and he's just taken down the building in front of me. He's obviously firing, thinking I'm behind the building and hoping that he'll get lucky. So I'm having a quick look, see if I can see where he might be. I think that's where I'd more than likely be myself. So I fired a round in there. No joy, so he's not there. But that's where the direction I thought it came from. And I've just been stunned again. Yes, the enemy Arty fired in. And in moving position. And I suddenly realised, no, he's going to come this way. I'm in good cover. I can stay here. Now I queued up a premium round for my next round. Still loading the standard. Now the standard rounds on this Arty will do 1300 alpha and penetrate on a burst radius of 13 meters. And there's the Striv. He's been spotted, and I auto aim onto him, which is not advisable because it's basically a shotgun. But look at that. The splash is so big on this Arty that it just took him out. He was badly damaged. And I'm moving. I don't care if the enemy Arty, if I knock any trees down, the GWE tried to get me. And unfortunately, fortunately for us, he failed. And I'm moving, but I'm stunned. Now, I could have used my first aid here to clear the stun, and I didn't. And that was a big mistake. But I thought I'd probably need that first aid if I had to go on cooldown. If I had to recover a crew member, rather. But I'm on the move, and we're getting close to time limit on the battle. Now you can see my reload time is 39.59 seconds. Yes, I haven't got a innovative loading system for this one yet, or the directives on the tank for making sure that I can load it quickly. And of course you may know that the T92 HMC is actually made on the same hull from the Eagle 7, the T26 E3. And so it's not exactly a very fast tank. But they didn't make that many of these, and they didn't need them to be fast because, of course, they were actually supposed to be used for the invasion of Japan. Well, the FV4201 is ahead of me. And I'm trying to catch up. I've loaded with a premium round. And well, he's headed towards... Oh no, he's headed south. And at this point, Backstabber was saying, Cap, go to the Cap. And I was headed to the Cap, and I fully intended to cap. And we've got to get to the Cap within 50 seconds still to go. Otherwise, we simply won't be able to cap out in time. And it's getting close now. That was the last minute hooter. And that's the point. We can't cap now. Even if both of us got into the Cap, it would not work. So I'm headed to this corner because I think that the enemy Arty, the GW, might have relocated closer to the Cap. And so he might be in this corner behind the houses. The FV4201 is following me. I'm getting ready to do a shotgun on the GWE 100. But he's not here. And so that means he must be over in the north. He must be one of the ones I was firing at. I fire a shotgun at the location where the last enemy was spotted. The Batchat 155, or rather that tank destroyer was spotted, hoping that he might be in those bushes. But we saw a shot from the corner, and I think that was the GWE trying to get one last shot on the FV4201. So yes, it's a draw. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And here's the end of battle results, and you can see we're starting with BearFace in the Progetto M40 Mod 65, the Tier 10 Italian medium. And well, she managed to get a win ace of that game of 869. If we look at team score, we can see that she was a little way down the table, in the top half of the table. 1,544 hit points of damage, 2 kills and 446 base XP. And if we look at Backstabber, we can see that he managed to get a patrol duty out of that battle, and his win rate was 968. And if we look at the team scores again, we can see that he was a little higher on the table, 1,791 base experience points and 2 kills with 560 XP. And if we look at mine, we can see that, yes, I actually managed to get a first-class tanker in that game. That was my first-class tanker because it's got the scrolls underneath. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 10 times the hit points of my own vehicle. And I also picked up a Stark's medal because I actually managed to get 2 kills, received 2 shots from the enemy, lost 2/3 of my hit points in the process, and still survived the battle. And my win rate from that game was 4,806. And if we look at team scores, we can see I'm second from the top. The highest scorer was the Strip1030 on our team, who managed to get 4,592 hit points of damage, and I was a little way behind that with 4,129. When it comes to kills, I managed to get 3, and my base XP was 569. So let's have a look in reverse order on the detail report. On the detail report with BearFace, we can see she fired 12 shots, got 12 direct hits, good accuracy, 5 penetrations. Yeah, unfortunately that gun unfortunately let her down, and some of the shots she got did actually get tracks, or at least one of them did. I know for certain on the T55 she managed to get a track on him. Damage of 1,544 hit points and 387 from more than 300 meters. Obviously, you should remember that she did get the kill on that TVP, which was very nice indeed. She received 4 hits, 4 penetrations. I'm afraid the armor's not so great on the tier 10 Italian. Yes, it's almost as bad as the one on tier 8 Italian. 5 hits by way of splash damage. Yes, she was really targeted by the enemy Arty. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 5 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, including that TVP, and she also got spotting assist of 1,610 hit points. On a premium count, she earned 30,390 credits, got 11,852 from Holiday Ops, total 42,242, and after repair and ammunition resupplies, still took away a profit of 5,479 credits. She received 669 XP, got 335 for playing in completing the missions. I think that's Holiday Ops, and total was 1,004 experience points altogether. So let's have a quick look and see what the results were for Backstabber. Yes, 16 shots fired, 8 direct hits, 5 penetrations. He had a bit of a problem with that ST1. A couple of the shots, well, one shot was blocked for sure, and then he was trying to get the pens on. He did get 1 pen into the cupola, which knocked off a lot of the hit points, but he was saved by that Striv firing from the north. He did damage of 1,791 hit points, and all of it was at close range, including that lovely shot on the 430, which actually left him on virtually no hit points whatsoever, and then he managed to get the kill shot, even though he only had a couple of hit points left himself. 6 enemy shots received, 4 penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and 5 hits by way of splash damage. Yes, he was targeted by Arty, but only because he was playing extremely well. I don't think it was because of his ID, because in this battle he was anonymized, so the enemy didn't know his rating. He blocked damage of 560 hit points, spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 3 of the enemy, killed 2 of the enemy, and did 4,325 hit points of spotting assist in that game. Yes, he really did well, and some of that actually came from that shot I fired at T110E4 right at the start of the game, plus of course that lovely shot where his waifu killed the Batchat 1390 as he popped up after getting stunned by me. So yes, he did really benefit from that. 51,179 credits on a premium account, 23,677 for completing the mission and events, and because he got an epic medal, the patrol duty, he got 6,570 credits from that. Total 81,426, but he did have to fire a number of premium rounds just to get the penetration on the enemy, and if he hadn't, he would have probably died sooner. He actually made a small loss for the game. It was only 3,000, let's have a look, 3,881. Yes, my age, my eyesight goes fairly quickly. 5 bonds received for the patrol duty at tier 10, and 840 XP. 487 for Courageous Resistance, 66 for this being a premium vehicle, took home 1,393 experience points altogether. So let's have a quick look and see how I ended up in this game. Well, 15 shots fired, out of my magazine, which was pretty amazing because I only have one round left at the end of the game. 7 direct hits, no penetrations unfortunately, and 12 splash. Damage of 4,129 hit points, of which 3,859 were at more than 300 meters. I think the difference was that Striv, who I actually hit with a fairly close shot. 2 hits received from the enemy. Yes, that's Striv again. 1 penetration, 1 non-penetration, that was the one that hit the tracks, and 3 hits by way of splash damage. Yes, the Arty was determined to get me and did actually splash me. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 2,345 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. On a premium count, I earned 68,519 credits, got 31,423 from the mission, that's the holiday ops, and 7,200 for courageous resistance. That's because this was getting an epic medal in a losing or a drawn game. And the total 107,142 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply I still had a profit of 39,323 credits, and that's from an ordinary vehicle, not a premium one. And I picked up 14 bonds for the awards in that battle at tier 10. 853 XP, 528 for courageous resistance. I took away 1,381 experience points altogether. So I hope you enjoyed this battle in the T92, in the Progetto, and the I think it's if I can press these buttons in the right order, yes, and the Chieftain. It was a very interesting afternoon playing with Backstabber and BearFace, and I'm sure I'll probably be doing it again, and it would actually be good fun if we could get more people to sign up at the same time. I know that Zoe does stream, and she does countdowns so that people can actually get into the same battle, and it is absolutely hilarious if everyone's on the same TeamSpeak. And Jamie, Backstabber, actually does have his own TeamSpeak, which actually makes it very, very useful if you wanted to organise a battle. So yes, we will probably arrange that sometime for those players who want to join in and have a bit of fun, and maybe we can organise it for weekends so people can get a chance to log on. Or even maybe get Zoe in and have a streamer in the stream as well. That would just be hilarious. So yes, thanks very much indeed for watching this replays, and do subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button so you get alerted when a new video comes out. And thank you for watching.